Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Hobart, Tasmania. We're currently at Brook Street Pier. So here's the sign, Franklin Wharf, Brook Street Pier. You got Princess Wharf number 1 shed, which is 2 minutes walk away over in that direction. Salamanca Place, Parliament House as well. You got the city centre. So this is the map of everywhere that you can go. And what a beautiful sailing ship this is. Let's go and take a closer look. I'm so pleased the sun is shining today. It's my first day in Tasmania. Windward Bound. I love these projects. Personal development and adventure under sail. You can change your life today. Steam on the Derwent. For more than 150 years, steam ferries and river steamers have sailed from this site and others in the cove. The first steam ferry was the Surprise. Surprise! Oh, the ferry Kangaroo I just spotted there on the right. Early passengers included wagons pulled by 8 or 10 docile bullocks or 4 splendid horses. No rubbish horses, splendid ones. Loaded with wattle bark, wood, passengers and produce. So the ferry was called the Kangaroo. Should have been called Bullocks, maybe. Or maybe not. I mentioned the Monorama, and here we have a flyer for it. That'd be one way of getting there, wouldn't it? Just rocket there. But it is a short sail ride, very pleasant one as well, on one of these boats here, down by the side of Brook Street Pier. If you've ever been to Hobart, Tasmania and Australia before, and chances are you've taken one of those boats if you went to the Mona Museum, just around the corner. We'll be taking one of those and having a look around that museum, because I've only been there once and it was quite an experience. It's unlike any other museum, which is what I like about it, really. It's well worth a visit. And funnily enough, I was in Melbourne and I was doing the Neighbours tour, and it was Carl, Alan Fletcher, Dr. Carl in the series. Alan Fletcher, I had a chance to meet him and speak to him, and he said, "Oh, where are you going on your travels next?" And I said, "Oh, Tasmania." He said, "Make sure you check out the Mona Museum." So I did. So thank you, Alan. It was awesome. He won't be watching this channel, but you know, Dr. Carl said it was good, so that was good enough for me. So this is Elizabeth Street Pier, just a short walk from Brook Street Pier. I believe here was where I had the best scallops I've ever had. They were so fresh, and that's what they do here. Straight from the sea to your plate very quickly. Fish frenzy. Another beautiful sailing ship there. And here's more of the harbour. This is the Lady Nelson. And you can be a volunteer on this one. Meet new people. Flexible commitment. Weekend harbour cruises. Sadly, I won't be here at a weekend. I'm only here for some weekdays before we head off to Brisbane. So back now at Brook Street Pier. Let's have a look inside Brook Street Pier. I believe you can book excursions in here. You can grab a coffee, something to eat, various eateries inside, souvenirs. There we go, there's all the day tours. Go to Peppermint Bay. Actually, it's Peppermint Bay Cruises. Sightseeing with Red Decker. There's the Monorama. Mona is closed today. Oh, boo! Well, I'll have to go tomorrow. That is a shame. But don't worry, I'll get there. This is why it's always good on the first day to check everything out, so you can plan. So you've got the Restaurant Maria, a loft foundry, waterline, boarding gates. Let's go downstairs. Franklin Wharf over there. Derwent Ferries right here. Sea Shepherd Global. I remember the Bob Barker, one of Sea Shepherd's ships, which isn't easy to say. That has been docked in Hobart quite a lot. And in Williamstown in Melbourne, the Sea Shepherd ship. The Sea Shepherd ship. Try saying that. Yeah, the other one was the Steve Irwin. Was there for a long time as a tour boat. However, I believe it's gone to scrap now, or going to be scrapped. So there's no more tours or anything. There you go, Waterline Lounge Bar and Eatery. Looks very nice through there. I always love this kind of seating. At what point, when they were looking into getting some seats, did they go, no, not that one, not that seat, no, not that one, no. Oh, that looks amazing. Yeah, let's have that. Let's have a lot of those, and we'll have them in black and white. They're not the most comfortable. But hey, I guess they look designer. I took advantage while I was in Brook Street Pier to book some tickets. I can't book the Mona Museum today, tomorrow or Thursday because it's not open. But it is open Friday, so we'll be going on Friday just before I leave on Saturday, in fact, to Brisbane. But because it's such a beautiful day, I've also booked a trip to Mount Wellington because the views up there are stunning. So let's head off. And that's the bus we take. It's leaving in 20 minutes time, so we've got plenty of time. We'll just wait around. Behind it is the hop-on, hop-off bus. And you know I'm a big fan of those. But it's not Big Bus this time, it's a red decker, they call it here. Just bought myself some sparkling water for our trip up to Mount Wellington. Just getting the bus now, which is going to be leaving in about 10 minutes time. It's loading up from now, I believe. And the sun's in and out in Hobart, Tasmania today. Just hoping it stays out for our trip. It does get quite windy up at Mount Wellington, so we'll see how we cope with that, but definitely worth a trip if ever you come to Hobart. I'm so pleased as well to be able to go on the Monorama on Friday and see the museum they have, the very unusual museum they have. Okay, this is our bus.
Go back in to get your paperwork.
Ah, lovely.
Alright, good afternoon and welcome aboard the Mount Wellington Explorer bus. My name's David and I'm your driver until about 10 to 3 this afternoon when we get back into the city. Now the mountain is 1270 metres above sea level, 4,090 feet, about 50 minutes from here to the top. Now this company here and the red decker there are the same company. So sometimes I drive those, but I've been promoted to go to the top of the mountain. I've been demoted, so they can take me off this bus, put me on that one, and off I go. But they do leave me alone up here, which is good. Now there is still snow at the top of the mountain. We do give you a half hour to get out and have a wander around, and then come back and get on the bus. The wind up here today is not as bad as it was last week, which is good. So temperature up here today is a maximum of 7 degrees, so it's about 0 up there at the moment. So it is cool with that breeze. It is very, very cool. You are now 1,270 metres above sea level. Technically the top of the mountain is that Blake Tree Point over there on the right. You've got until 2 o'clock to go for a bit of a wander.
And we've made it. Here we are at the top of Mount Wellington, Hobart, Tasmania. And it's been snowing. Look at the snow. Anyone for a snowball fight? Now, what we've come here to see is the view. Just been dropped off by the bus. It's very windy up here. It's very windy and cold, in fact. It's the highest point over there, the top of that aerial. And you can see this for miles, this peak, Mount Wellington, especially that little tower there above the snow. If you want warmth, there's a little hut there, which tells you a bit about the Mount Wellington itself as well, so we'll go in there. We'll also go on the outside bit, but by Jove is it freezing. Pinnacle Observation Shelter and Boardwalk. It's open until 10 o'clock at night, this. The driver was saying anyone can drive up at any point unless they close the road off because of atrocious conditions weather-wise. So they get a lot of snow up here. They get a lot of storms up here as well. Wild weather of Tasmania. So this is the inside bit. Let's go in here first. The observation shelter. Thank you. It's nice and warm in here. So that's the observation shelter, and now we shall head down that pathway, brave the cold and the winds, and we'll check out the view with no glass between us. You can see though why this is a must visit, can't you? If you come to Tasmania, Mount Wellington. Quite a lot of rainfall here. Strong winds. Yeah, the air temperature 10 degrees cooler than in Hobart. And you can feel it, believe me. Some more snow out there. Right, let's go outside, go to the end of that walkway. I kind of wish I brought a jacket. It's silly that I didn't, but anyway. I didn't think it would be this cold. It's freezing. It is freezing. Tell you what though, it's worth braving cold for those views. And actually it's not that bad. It's copable. More snow. So this is what we've come to see. Not necessarily the snow, although that's rather nice. But that view there, this is the very end of the walkway. You can see for miles today. Sensible people with their jackets on, nice and warm. And then there's me with just a short sleeve shirt on. Come prepared if you go to the top of Mount Wellington in Tasmania. I actually now have the place to myself because everyone's got so cold they've gone back onto the bus. The bus doesn't leave for another 15 minutes. I'm braving it for YouTube. So there we go. I mean, this has got to be worth a like, isn't it? I am freezing. I must admit, now I'm on the edge of this walkway, surrounded by bits of snow, but it's worth it. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and hopefully I will learn from this experience and wrap up warm next time. You learn something every day, don't you? I'm actually going to go back up the walkway now. It's very windy, which makes it the cold factor even worse. 10 degrees cooler up here, or colder than down in the city, because we're over 1,200 meters high. But amazing. Oh, some people are still milling about. So there's the bus up there. Better make my way back to it. We're nicely on time this time, which makes a change.
How are you not dying? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm all right. Amazing. Time to make our way back down the mountain. We'll be coming round the mountain.
Those mountain ranges you see down there in the distance, that's Jeeveston, the Harps Mountains and the Airwalk. Now the Harps Mountains is in that dip, there's a rock there, that's the Harps Mountains. There's the top of one of these walking tracks.
Oh, there's
So that is the main one from the summit down, so that is the zigzag track.
How long is it? Down to
1.5 hours.
down to
The springs. So all these mountain ranges out here, the first one is Mountfield National Park. Second one over the back is Cradle Mountain. See the cradle? Halfway along that second.
Oh, wow.
So up there too. Oh, gee, there it is. So Cradle Mountain's halfway along that second hill. Wait till you get past these rocks here.
Still not too far.
And then you'll see, it's a long walk. 3.5 hour drive there. That's way up there. So 3.5 hour drive up the west coast of Tasmania. And you get to Cradle Mountain.
We were here.
So that is a telecommunication tower. Plays up with the electric cars they bring up here. Remote controls to get into your cars. And drones are another one. So there is a bit of a sign around here saying about all these electronic devices. I'm pretty sure it's down in that hut there. Pretty sure. There's a couple of them around. Now, a couple of the main industries here in Tasmania. The main one is the tourism industry. Now, from the end of October through about the end of April, we get an extra 1.5 to 2 million visitors coming into Tassie, which is good for the economy. Absolutely it is.
But the traffic.
The fishing industry used to be pretty good as well. Most of our abalone and southern rock lobsters were exported live overseas. Now they were getting $95 to $115 a kilo for these crayfish overseas, which is a ridiculous price. I'd never pay that for it. At the moment they're going for about $65 a kilo, which is still too expensive. I was lucky enough about 4 months ago to go and see a crayfishing mate of mine and get one off him for $35.
Wow.
So it's not what you know, it's who you know. And he moaned about that too. He reckons I should have paid $70 for it. Now, $70, I won't pay that for it. I'll get in the water myself and get them for that sort of money. Now down here on the right, in this bay down here, in the bottom left-hand corner, you might see like a frying pan island there. That would be Mona. What can I say about that place? Unusual art, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah.
Up further from that, there's a big bit of land going right out in the middle of the river. There's a big white factory halfway up that. That would be the Cadbury Chocolate Factory, where they make Cadbury chocolate. And no, they don't have tours through Cadbury anymore. It is an American firm that own Cadbury, and are not interested in tourism. Look at that one.
Wow.
It's a lot of snow in it.
That's a lot of snow.